Guys, you are welcome to Akoben TV. I'm Lady Special. On this program, we argue, agree, and disagree on certain issues. Are welcome here. Please, on today's episode, we will be discussing on Donald Trump's mass deportation of Africans. Please follow our page, like, comment, and share. Please, today I'll be discussing this show with my colleague Hakim here, and Hakim is here with us. He will be joining me in the discussion where you argue on certain issues and disagree on certain issues.
It's your boy, Brother Royce, one time for your mind, though. Yo, let's just get straight into it.
The president tonight apparently uncorking another astonishing statement, complaining to lawmakers in the Oval Office about protections for immigrants. Why do we want these people from, quote, all these shithole countries here? According to a Democratic aide familiar with the conversation, Mr. Trump was referring to African nations and Haiti before suggesting the U.S. should have more people from places like Norway, whose prime minister he met yesterday. A White House spokesman tonight not denying the president's words.
We should not allow Africans from their shithole countries to come to the United States. You, as an African woman, what's on your mind? What do you feel about Trump's 2018 comments?
Okay, so before I answer my brother's question, I want us to watch this particular video of Trump's mass deportation. There you go into the questions.
So welcome back. This is my boy Adam Sling. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you guys are watching this video from. I hope you guys are cool. I am not cool, guys. Just yesterday here, I was praising Donald Trump, deportation, whatever that's going on in the United States of America, because, of course, he's within his right and he has already made the promise. That was one of his campaign promises. But I never knew deportation would touch us, Nigeria. I never knew it's going to touch us as well. About 3,690 Nigerians among top African nations facing U.S. deportation crackdown. And they just released the list of the names and the list of the countries who should be expecting their people to immediately return back to Nigeria. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this whole deportation issue to touch any Nigerian at all, but unfortunately, it has touched us. So according to this memo, it read, U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement, ICE. This is the first time we are hearing about ICE. They have been there, but they have not been working effectively until Donald Trump. Then the question, they say, how many individuals on the non-detained docket are final order of removal? Please provide the data breaking down by nationality and categories of reasons that make it difficult to remove specific countries. They say, as of November 24, 2024, there are 1,435,549 non-citizens on ICE, non-detained docket, with final orders of removal. Please see the following chart for the breakdown by countries of citizens. Of course, you see Afghanistan there. They still have large amount of numbers. You see Barbados there, Bahamas, Australia, Austria, Argentina, Angola, Botswana. Of course, there are still many. Botswana has about 12, only 12. Botswana, only 12. Libya, only 89. Liberia, then you see Laos, 4,850. Then you see Nigeria here, 3,690. New Zealand, this other country with about 45,000. Pakistan, 7,700 or something. Then Mexico, 252,000. But Mexico want to occupy the entire United States of America. There are other countries as well. Monaco, only one. Monaco, only one. Only one. Those top country, only one. So guys, Nigeria, 3,690. We are among the top, but not that quite. Not that quite. You understand? It's quite unfortunate. They have released the names as well. Please, if you know your name in there, I will advise you to just volunteer yourself, because apparently, it's not even apparently, according to the law, if you volunteer to leave the United States of America, no wahala, there is no ban on your name. But if you are forcefully removed from the United States of America, you will be regarded as a criminal.
To be honest with you, I don't know what Trump is trying to prove, because this thing is crazy. It is quite unfortunate why African will find ourselves fumbling in such situation, because I've been thinking, why should Trump even give that order in the first place? And why should Africans find ourselves in a hot soup? Because imagine this amount of people living in America. That's crazy.
About 4,000. It's an interesting point that he said that everybody who is leaving, whether they bought houses or anything, they have to come back. And yeah, he's only talking about people who are illegal, so people who let their paperwork expire, people who are undocumented, etc., etc. But it's another interesting thing that every African should be aware of. Nigerian is around 4,000, but look at Mexico. Mexico had 230,000 illegal Mexicans in the country, right?
Yeah.
So some people would say that that's only because they share the same border, so the people just come over, right?
They didn't have any security rules.
But remember, Trump is coming in after Joe Biden, and as Africans, we got to know how the game goes. There was a time where Canada was calling a lot of Ghanaians over. And Canada's like, hey, all the Ghanaians come over, all the Ghanaians come over. And that's the same thing that Joe Biden did with the people coming over from Mexico. Why do people do that? Usually when these countries are calling over a lot of Africans or people from the continent, it's because it's election season.
Okay.
And they don't feel like the people in the country is going to vote for them. So they call over people from other countries saying, hey, if I call you over, you're going to vote for me during elections.
But Hakeem, I'm not cutting you. Like, how can this happen? Because as an illegal citizen, you cannot vote for the president to be elected. Because imagine in Ghana here, if you are not a citizen, how can you vote for our president to be elected? So it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you have to see that even though some of these people are illegal according to their laws, even though some of these people are illegal, they still own houses. They still have businesses. Some of them have been living in the country 20 or 30 years, right? Did the country not know they were illegal? No, I see you knew, okay, the documents expired. But as long as it's a slave class. As long as they're building your country and doing what you brought them there to do, you don't care. But when you're done using them and their usefulness to you has passed, now you want to send them all back.
Yeah.
That's what that's about. That's the game with that.
Okay. Well, I don't agree in the first place for them bringing illegal citizens into the country and later dumping them. I don't agree with that. But let us look at the point that, well, they have brought all these people into the country. They knew what they were doing, and they knew what they wanted from them. So why should they give them pressure now that, oh, falsely you have to go back? What the person doesn't want to go back? Because someone is praying to go to America and you have given he or she that opportunity to go there. So why them forcing them back?
Yeah, we have to get to a point as a people where we have to realize that if they are inviting you over or if they're giving you anything, it's for a reason. And the moment that reason is done, they're going to show their true face. We're seeing that now. We're seeing it now.
Well, so for me, I personally, I think Trump may be right and also may be wrong for his deportation, because I agree on him on certain things regarding to the deportation, and I also disagree with him on certain things regarding to the deportation, because assuming you are deporting all these people to come back to their various countries, let me use my country here, Ghana. If you are deporting people to come here, we don't have jobs here, and even apart from the job challenges,
That's a big one.
how confidently are we, or how assured are we that the people coming here are from Ghana? You see, so you can't just take someone's citizen somewhere and then bring them back and dump them just like that. So for that, and I've been even asking myself, what about those who have been there illegally, worked, built their empire there, like their businesses and all that, and some people too have worked, their amount is not yet due for them to receive their salaries. So if you are deporting them, how will they get access to all this their achievements?
I mean, it was like the guy was saying about people who went over there for 20 or 30 years, and it's kind of like they disappeared into America. They never sent any money back. They never sent any aid back, right? This is a big thing on the continent. People sell their entire land and all of their houses and all of their property just to get a plane ticket to go to America, right? So now the family is like, well, we sold everything to get you a plane ticket to America, but we haven't heard from you in 20 years. You haven't sent back $1. You see? So now people are starting to see, oh, this is what you're actually going through over there, with Trump saying, hey, we don't even want people from these shithole countries, quote unquote, even over here. That's exactly how they're treating them over there. They're not over there making the huge amount of money to send back. Most of them, if you're talking about 2024, are working 2 jobs just to break even. 2 jobs just to meet the bills and have enough for food. But now you're already over there. So now you just stay because you can't even afford to have a plane ticket back. That's why the guy was saying that some people will use this forced deportation because that's the only way they could get a plane ticket back, because they can't afford it under the American economy. That's crazy.
There are some people, they want to come back. They don't have flight money. This is an opportunity to volunteer yourself so that they can quietly deport you.
You sold everything you had to get over there, and now you can't even make enough money to fly back.
Because they are losing everything to the government. Because I've learned they will even catch some of these illegal migrant people on street, some on their workplaces, and they'll just take them straight to their
raiding them right at the marketplaces. They have the big African marketplaces in Washington, D.C., and the ICE was going to the African marketplaces and pulling them right out of the marketplace to the ICE immigration.
I was in African market in Stretch in Washington, and I wanted to go get some groceries and some African stuff which I was going to use to cook. Unfortunately, I encountered these people that were in charge of the whole arresting of people who don't have their document completed yet. So it's just an unfortunate incident, and I want all of you to know that I don't wish anybody bad, and I would respect you all to respect my decision or the fact that I'm back in Nigeria.
That's America.
So right now, the people are living like criminals in Christ because they haven't committed any sin, but they are afraid to get out. In some point, I disagree with Trump's order because he should have taken things easily or do things in a cool way. But the way he's doing it, I feel like it is some kind of harsh. He's being harsh on them. He should have taken it slow because he could have done better than this.
He's giving them the option. He says, if you leave on your own and turn yourself in, then you can go. But if we have to deport you, then you're banned for 20 years, right? But after being deported, do you necessarily want to go back anyways? So now that all these people are going back to Nigeria, I'm just wondering, and I'm thinking about how this is going to affect the continent. So let's look at a couple clips on how the continent is responding to these thousands of people that are now all of a sudden being sent back to the continent.
Yeah, so I was about to ask you about that because Nigeria have a lot of population
already
living illegally in America, and as well as Ghanaians. So I'll be asking, let us look it from this way. What will even pushes our colleagues to go there to work and find themselves in such situations? Before we watch the next video, let's just give ourselves a brief reason why you think we will leave our own country despite having all these resources, then we'll go to another country for greener pasture.
Well, it's going to a place where everything is already built. Here, Africa has the resources, but what Africa was colonized up to 1960s. So that's about 40 or 50 years from now, right? So up until the 1960s, Africa didn't have control of their resources. So instead of mining the resources and actually building things here, they just want to go to a place where things were already built, which I would like to highlight. America was built by Africans. Most of the inventions in America was invented by Africans. The stoplight, the gas mask, everything that keeps America running, the GPS, everything, all of this stuff was invented by African people, us. So they want to go there to where stuff is already built, but maybe we as Africans should remember that we are the ones who built it. So instead of going to America to get it, how about we just build it here at home, especially if that's the way we're going to be treated. And especially if now you got this issue where 10,000 or so people are now coming back to a place where the economy is completely broken and probably unable to receive.
Okay, well, that's what my colleague says. That's his thought and how he feels about the deportations going on in America. Well, before you move on, let us look at some of the African leaders and their responses to this particular deportation. So let us watch a clip of the president of Nigeria, Tinubu.
The other day, it was all over the news that the Mexican plane, the deportation plane from USA to Mexico, was actually sent back to USA by the government of Mexico. So today, it was all over the news that the president of Nigeria, President Tinubu, decided to copy what Mexican president did by him sending, or should I say, blocks US deportation flights from landing in Nigeria over lack of timely notice. So according to them, they said that Tinubu said, ask them to take them back, he declares. So US deportation plane stuck on air for 23 hours, waiting for landing license as Tinubu refuses approval, vows to deny entry. At this point, I just want to go home. I'm tired. I want to go home. Tell me why I'm hearing that people in the US are being deported. People that have lived here for 20 years. These people have social security number. I don't even know how you can do that if you don't have papers. People who have homes, who have bought houses, but no papers. People who have lived here for years upon years. I can't get my head around it. Guys, anywhere that you are, please, your documentation is number one. Don't get comfortable with a good life. Go and make sure you are documented. That's all I can say while I'm still here, because I'm not about to be questioned at the airport, but I just need to go home. I think it's enough. I want to go house.
So all of now we don't run leave Nigeria, go to US. How far? How market? You understand? There's something I always tell you people. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. You understand? The funny part is that most of you now will come back empty-handed. You come back worse than when you left. That is the sad part.
So the guy from the first clip say, well, the best thing about these people being deported is that at least they'll be welcomed back.
The Nigeria in Diaspora Commission has issued a memo. According to the commission, they said the Nigeria federal government is ready to welcome deported Nigeria from the United States of America. Yeah, at least we are not Colombia government.
And in the next clip, it says the president denies the plane entry into the airport, wants to send them back to the U.S. According to this clip, it says some people agree with that. That's your people. Why are you not letting your own people back into the country? And then are we wondering why these Trumps and all of these guys are kind of saying what they're saying? Why are you not letting your own people back into the country?
Is that a question for me?
I want to know from the African perspective.
Man,
You kept the plane in the air for 23 hours.
Hakeem, relax.
My goodness.
Relax. You see, that's why I was telling you that me, in some way, I agree with Trump, and in some way, I disagree with him. Because if you look at the video very well, some people are happy that he is deporting them, whilst others are not happy. You see, those who are happy, they are happy because they are tired of living there. Maybe due to their some certain circumstances or certain challenges they are facing there. But if you look at the second video, the lady is trying to say something. She was saying that you look at this, despite the fact that we want to come home, despite the fact that what Tinubu is doing, some of us are happy and some of us are unhappy. You look it in this reality. Some of us have lived here for decades, about 20 years. We have bought houses there. We have built our factories there. We have built our businesses there. So that's why I asked you, if Trump is to deport all of these people, will he send them, will he add their business to attach to them and deport all of them?
No.
Or will he add their houses together with them and deport all of them? He can't do that.
No, he won't do that.
And he can't also guarantee them that, oh, you go, I will sell your houses and then transfer the money into your account.
No, that's not
going
to happen.
So there's no any financial transaction between this deportation. So if we just deport someone to go, how is the person going? How is the person going to start life? So I agree with Tinubu in some certain way. Why should he deport someone without sitting down, having a concrete agreement with the president? Because you are bringing someone into my land. Have to know the person, have to know what the person comes to do here before you bring the persons here. I cannot accept people here whilst they'll be homeless, they'll be jobless. Meanwhile, these same people have built a lot of economic impact in your country. So if you are bringing them back, there should be something for them that when they come back, they will rely on. Today's episode, we will be discussing on Donald Trump's mass deportation of Africans. Please follow our page, like, comment, and share. Please be reminded that your comments and thoughts are welcome here.
Some people were applauding President Tinubu for, trying to fight for Africa and do the needful, for him teaching Americans that, see, there's time for everything. Some of them were also seen blaming him that he does not really love his citizens, for him to deny them access to Nigeria. Some of them are calling him that they should please open up and let them land safely, because it is not safe.
Ask yourself, as a president, he has a lot of responsibilities. If they come here, they are his responsibilities. And if he fails to provide them their needs, they will be the same people who come after him. You are our president. We are sitting on our good. We are sitting on our oils. We are sitting on our... and nothing is happening. So he has to make sure that the people coming, first, they are fully Nigerian. They have a concrete agreement for them that when they come, they have a place to stay, they have work to go. They shouldn't come and be a burden. So I support Tinubu.
This is the thing that we got to realize. This is the way it is in every European country. Whether you go to Germany, you go to Spain to play soccer, wherever you go, and let's say you make millions in this country. If you're playing soccer in a European country, you're making millions. Now, here's the problem. You can't take that money out of the country. If any of those soccer players decide, I want to quit football, if any of the football or soccer players decide they want to quit the team and come back to Africa, that money stays in those European bank accounts. You cannot withdraw the 10 million euros that you made and say, hey, I'm going to take this back to Africa with me. They will not let you. So Africans are thinking that I'm going to go away to these European countries, and America's a European country, even though it's blacks there. But I'm going to go away to these European countries. I'm going to make all of this wealth, and then I'm going to bring all of this wealth back to help Africa. They won't let you. That money stays in that banks, and that money gets absorbed back into their economies. It is a scam. It is a trap. You're not coming back rich. You saw the guy in the second clip with the hat on. He said, people are making fun of me saying it looked like I never left and I've been over there for years. They're asking him, where's the wealth? Where's all the money you've been making while you've been over there? And he's like, y'all just don't understand what it's like being over there.
A lot of people have been in my comment section, saying a whole lot of stuff that I don't even look like someone who has traveled and all of that. Well, I can't blame you. I can't blame you all. I can't blame you all. But the thing I'm going to tell you all is, I'm the one that know what I experienced.
Me coming from America, I understand. You're not making nothing. All you're doing is helping grow their economy. But what's happening to your economy? So if you're coming back to a country and the president is saying, hey, we don't really got no way to handle all of y'all. How? You have the resources. You have more resources than the countries that they're coming from have. So what's going on to where you can't receive your people? What are you doing?
I'm coming.
That's what I'm saying.
Tinubu never sent any Nigerians to America.
They went on their own.
He didn't.
They went on their own.
Did he?
No.
He didn't.
No.
He didn't. So why should you be saying that? Because they are coming back, Tinubu should accept them. Because he has the resources. Fine, he has the resources, but he didn't send them there. Did he send them there? No. And if when they went there, America was having a president. He didn't ask them to come back. He accepted them. Work for me. Make me get richer.
Right.
Get money for me. Make money for me.
Right.
And they are making money for you. Let them enjoy their money.
Right.
Because after every labor, you have to enjoy the fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
So now that they want to enjoy the fruit of their labor, Trump is sending them back. It doesn't make sense to me.
That makes sense if you're dealing respect to respect with a person. That means I respect you and you respect me. But the reason why Trump is a person, being from America, Trump is a person that speaks plainly. A lot of people feel the same way. A lot of Europeans feel the same way about us that Trump feels. But the difference between them and Trump is they'll lie in your face. Like you said, they'll tell you, yeah, come over, work in my businesses, push my economy, grow my economy, right? But we got a tweet right now. Let's pull up this tweet and let's find out what they really think of us, so that we understand that when they're inviting us over with that crocodile smile, let's see what they really think of us.
This man is trying to convince me. Well, I don't
Let's
know
see it.
whether you are siding with him or you are siding with me.
Let's see
Because
it.
for me, man, this is abnormal to me. This is crazy.
Is
Because whether Trump being plain or not being plain, he should put himself. Because I always been saying this thing that we are all one people despite our colors. If all of us are to say that, oh, I am independent, so I don't need this one, I don't need this one, it won't work. So we all depends on each other.
I agree.
For a specific goal.
I agree.
The same way we are there for greener pasture, they also depend on us for some certain things.
Right.
So he should think about that very well.
I agree. But
Yeah.
let's see if they agree.
On his inauguration, he didn't invite any African leaders, and we are all surprised. Me, I'm surprised, and I know my brother too is surprised, and I know you sitting there, you're also surprised.
I ain't too surprised. I ain't too surprised.
Why should this man invite everybody and exclude us?
2018, he already said what he think about the country.
Let us watch this press release. Then let us try to see whether it is the source of his deportation or he's just trying to let us create awareness that he is about to set some deportation.
This is them actually asking Trump, now that he's been elected for his second term, to explain what he said in his first term about why are we allowing people from these shithole African and Haitian countries to come over here. So let's read him explaining what he meant by that statement.
I almost cried when I understood why Trump didn't invite any African leader at his inauguration. Understand everything now. At a press conference held in Washington at the White House, Trump made profound statements against African leaders. Donald Trump explains his statements against African leaders. If after 50 years of independence, you have not built the necessary infrastructure for your people, are you human? Donald questioned, if you sit on gold, diamond, oil, and uranium, iron, copper, silver, magnesium, crude oil, gas, if your people die of hunger, without health, and with nothing to live on, with terrible education, do you feel human? Trump said, if you stay in power, you buy weapons abroad to kill your own citizens. Are you human? If you despise and shoot your own citizens like nothing, who will respect them? If you become a thief in your own country, stealing all resources destined for your country, whilst most of your brothers are miserable, starving and living very poorly, is that being human?
If after 50 years of independence, you have not built the necessary infrastructure for your people, are you human? Donald question. If you sit on gold, diamonds, oil, uranium, iron, copper, silver, magnesium, crude oil, gas, and your people die of hunger, without health and with nothing to live on and with terrible education, do you feel human? Now, we know when they asked the French president about Ibrahim Traoré, this isn't the first time that this language has been used. And I'm going somewhere with this. I'm really going somewhere with this. The French president and Donald Trump and the French president ain't sitting in the same room. These are two people during two different press conferences. The French president, when they asked him about Ibrahim Traoré, he said, Ibrahim Traoré and the Africans are ungrateful. And we should be happy that this disease is not contagious to humans. Otherwise, there is a reason, and I know this coming from America, there is a reason why people start dehumanizing a person. And the reason a person starts dehumanizing a person is so they can justify something they're about to do. If they didn't first dehumanize the Africans, then the whole entire world would have stood against the slave trade. But because first the Pope in 1492 launched a whole campaign to first dehumanize Africans by saying they're serving the wrong gods, they're pagans, they're devils, and they need to be converted to our gods. That is why when slavery happened and they took literally 80% of the population of Ghana in the slave trade, only to kill 60% of them, the whole world turned their back because, well, these people are pagans and they're dying because they didn't worship God. So we have to be very careful when these warmongers start using certain language towards our people. So my question to even Africa, and my question to you as a representative of Africa, you are African through and through, blood and blood. What can we as African citizens do to start changing this narrative that's starting to get in the mouths of a lot of powerful people with weapons who have ideas for what they feel should be happening on the continent? What do we do to start changing this narrative? And what do you think about everything that Trump said? It's happening, but what can we do about it?
I think this whole thing starts from our leaders, because even his price is directly to the leaders. Because I think this one, although we the citizens, we might play a role in it, but I think all this is concentrated on our governance, especially our leaders, because they hold the mandatory. They hold the mandatory to all this. And it is funny in such a way that Trump could sit in his country, his office, and pull out such price that we as stealers we killed our own citizens, and we buy weapons from abroad. Ask yourself in the first place, why should they even produce those weapons in the first place? I've never heard that they say maybe a president have gone to some place, bought weapon and killed his fellow citizen or something like that. We haven't heard that before. But well, since they are producing it, maybe they have evidence showing or proving some of our leaders buying weapons to kill our own people. Because this thing, he mentioned some parts there that I have found interested in, talking about our natural resources.
Right.
For that one, I think Trump is on point. We deserve what he is saying because we fail as a country, because we have all the resources, we have all that it takes to be richer and even super richer than the Westerners. We established America. We made America what it is now.
And you cannot argue that. You cannot argue that America was built on the backs of African people.
Even President Donald Trump himself saying this to our face is a beneficiary of our hard work in Africa.
Right.
And he knows it. He knows it. They eat because of us. They have light because of us. They drive because of us. They live in that big dreams because of us.
Right.
But the problem is Trump can't insult us. He can insult us and say whatever he wants to add, because we refuse to think and we refuse to be conscious of the natural resources that we have as a nation, the things that make us stand out as a nation or as a continent, as African. Because how could a country without gold, without copper, without even gas, oil, they generate everything from us, can boldly speak to us anyhow he wants? That's why I say it depends on our leaders. The day they will sit down and say, no, it is over, enough is enough, we need change, we have to fight for our own rights, we have to fight for our own citizens, we have to protect our own citizens. Because he said something, he said, you sit there, watch your brothers to live in a miserable life, starved to death, they don't have good health, they don't have good education. And it is true, in African here, some of our leaders travels their wars outside the country for better education.
Right.
So in the actual sense, you are trying to tell us that in your country, you don't have a good education that your own kids deserve to go.
Well,
You see? So sometimes what Trump is saying, it is something good, but he should also know that in as much as he's trying to bring us to the spotlight, he should take his time. We made America what America is today.
Africa.
Without our foundation, America wouldn't have been this.
I agree 100%. And you know, I love the shirt. I have the shirt for a reason. We have African leaders right now who are doing exactly what you're saying. And yo, shots out to Ghana. You know, just got, you know, this new president, John Mahama, and he looks like the man. He looks like he's gonna follow the path of these three great leaders right here, Niger, you know, Burkina Faso, and Mali. And I think even the president of Ghana, John Mahama, he in his own way has a response to Donald Trump's comments himself. Let's pull up that clip.
So today we are diving into a major issue that has sparked widespread debate in Ghana: the controversial Ghana-USA military agreement. Ghana's current president, John Dramani Mahama, when he was in opposition, fought against the Ghana-US military agreement as it was presented to Parliament. His party members even went ahead and demonstrated against the agreement, which he wrote, "I join in declaring #Ghana First as my patriots and other democratic forces converged to demonstrate their opposition to the Ghana-USA military agreement" back in 2018. So now that he's in office, people are just looking to see the termination of this Ghana-USA military agreement. Upon his election, however, he had made promises to rectify so many agreements made by the previous administration, including Ghana's IMF deal. taxation, and others, with the Ghana-US military agreement speculated as one of the rectifiable ones, as during his time in opposition, Mahama was one of the most vocal critics of this agreement. My viewers, note, let me be emphatically clear, there are no US bases in Ghana. Technically, the keyword is technically, and you'd understand this statement as we proceed. The actual fact is most people have no idea of the Ghana-US military agreement that's being speculated through the media. And here at Andy's Insights, I bring you factual happenings in the Ghanaian and African sphere, so stick to this video to the very end. The Ghana-United States Status of Forces Agreement, which is the SOFA Agreement, SOFA, was given consent by the Parliament, ratified by Ghana's Parliament on March 28, 2018, and was signed in May 2018. The agreement allowed the United States to establish a military presence in Ghana under the guise of the West African Logistics Network at the Kotoka International Airport in Accra. The government at the time, led by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, assured Ghanaians that this was not a US military base. So I kind of don't understand why many people say Ghana is closing US bases. This was the only record of something close to a US base. However, even though it was technically not a military base, the agreement granted the US military significant privileges. It included unimpeding access. US military personnel and equipment could move freely in and out of Ghana without any restrictions whatsoever. It also has exemption from inspections. US military aircraft and personnel are exempted from boarding and inspection by Ghanaian authorities per the agreement, and also it has diplomatic privileges. US soldiers could enter Ghana without passports, using only their US Army identity cards. They also have control over key facilities. The West African Logistics Network Agreement took over one of the terminals at the Kotoka International Airport. It allows US military operations to function without Ghanaian oversight. You can see that for many Ghanaians, this agreement had raised serious concerns, and it still raises concerns to this day. The idea that a foreign military had such broad privileges in Ghana sparked fears about our sovereignty, security risks, and economic implications.
You saw the map, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so Ghana is here. Over Ghana, you have the Sahel, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, right? So if they're in Ghana to do military operations, it's for them to attack the Sahel. It's the only reason they're here. So the fact that John Mahama, when this agreement happened in 2018, I was in America and I remember seeing this on the news, and I remember being on my Facebook like, don't do it. They were saying the United States is trying to establish a military base here, and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it. And what the video was saying was, the reports was that they voted it down, no military base was built here. So I'm like, oh, thank gosh.
With many publications stating that Mahama is cancelling the military base and whatnot, but there are no military base. It's just an agreement that allows them use a facility, which could also be termed as having a military base in Ghana, but technically it isn't so. And using bases as in more than one is far-fetched. Many activists, political analysts, and citizens believe that the termination of this agreement will be a defining moment in Ghana's history. But Mahama has already proven himself as a leader willing to stand up for Ghana's interest, because irrespective of how the other African nations treat the AES nations, Mahama has been very vocal on his stance to unite Africa, and even going as far as to have a cordial relationship with Burkinabe President Ibrahim Traoré. The Ghana-US military agreement has been one of the most contentious issues in Ghanaian politics over the past few years.
So John Mahama closing down that base, I think that's what you're saying. I think once you start getting the right leaders, including John Mahama, including the new president of Senegal, once you start getting the right leaders, maybe that is the first step in kind of changing how we're seen in the global stage. I always say, until Africa becomes strong, as long as Africa is in a weakened state, then Africans will be mistreated wherever they go in the world, right? Think about the Chinese. The Chinese used to be treated just like Africans. Yeah. Slap, punch, kick, everything, right? So they said, okay, we're going to make China the most powerful empire in the world. Now, because China is so powerful, wherever a Chinaman goes, he got to be respected. It's the same thing with Africa. As long as Africa is underdeveloped and weak and broken and plundered and pillaged, then wherever the African or the black man goes anywhere in the world, he's going to be disrespected. They're burning black businesses in UK. They're attacking black people in Spain. They're hanging black people in America. It's because our country, Africa, is in the state that it's in. Once Africa becomes powerful, then that will change the way Africans are treated. And African means the entire diaspora, black people included. Once Africa becomes strong, it will change how Africa is treated, African people is treated on the world stage. We got to build up here.
So we are trusting President Mahama that he may bring us something new and something different. I mean something good. That's what we are all expected of him. Right now, my country Ghana, I would say all the hopes are gone and you don't know what to even think of or dream of. But I think President Mahama is someone we can trust in some certain ways based on his request and resistance to close the military base. It is good for us and it will help us. So let us see whether if he will fulfill his promise or he will also debate as the way our former president did. Because right now Ghanaians, we are tired of disappointment. Since we have new government, new things will begin and new things will start. Like I don't even mean only Ghana. The whole Africa, the whole African leaders, the whole African citizens, the whole African youth, we should rise up. We should be conscious of our own environment, our own resources, our own destiny. Because we as the citizens, we have a role to play. Even if our leaders are failing because they have the power and they think what they are doing is good, why we are practicing democracy in a lot of the African countries react to it. They be in violence or insulting, but we can have a nice way
That's what democracy is for.
To draw them back on track. Because you don't have to let them be, and assuming because they are president, you should let them be. You can't speak, so you should just let them 4 years to come. You vote them out. Bear in mind, 4 years is a long journey. By the time the 4 years will due and you go and vote, they have already created a lot of damages. So we have to also play a lot of roles in helping our leaders, because I always admire Burkina Faso President Ibrahim, and I wish all the African leaders will
follow suit.
They will learn from him. They will learn something from him. And the way his citizens are, they are humble. They agree to whatever he says and they are supporting him. But with the democratic country, we always find way to trust our leaders. Even when they are doing the good things, we are also playing some negative aspects. So please, as we have advising our leaders, let us try as much as possible to advise ourselves too. We should support them. The beginning is hard. America wasn't like this. They also suffer from the roots. And right now, we are benefiting it. And they think, therefore, they are superior. So we can also do the same thing. It might be difficult, but we should bear in mind that we can. We can. Africa, please, I beg you. Let us all come together. Let us all support our leaders. We can do that.
And John Mahatma, he's definitely going to need the support, because as we saw in the video clip, as the Nigerians are coming into Ghana, Tinubu is sending the Nigerians into Ghana. As the Nigerians are coming back home to Nigeria, he's sending them into Ghana. So at the same time, all the Nigerians that's coming is being sent into Ghana. Ghanaians are also being sent back from Europe as well. So right now, we got thousands upon thousands of Africans coming into Ghana right now. And for an economy that's not strong, to have about 10,000 extra people added to the economy, things are going to get rough until there is a balancing, equalization, you know? So when you having 10,000 people coming back, and right now, you know, everybody's complaining about we don't have jobs, the president is definitely going to need everybody's support, because, you know, this has happened in other countries like Liberia, where after they got the emancipation and those first wave of Americans came into Liberia, the Americans that came into Liberia and the Liberians that were already there started a civil war. So every time you have two nations coming together, even if those nations are from the same place, a lot of times in history, it becomes a huge war as they equalize and balance each other out. It's the same thing. Pakistan and India all came out of South Africa. So when the British left South Africa and now you got the Pakistanians and now you got the Indians, they just started going to war with each other. So who knows how all of these Africans that are now coming back to the continent in mass is gonna, like I said, affect the economy and just affect everything that is result. These people have to be fed, these people have to find places to stay, these people have to find work, these people have to get into the school system. So, you know, you have Americans like me coming over, Pan-Africans, Diasporians that's coming over to start businesses and build jobs to hopefully employ, you know, some of the Ghanaians, but we need more. We need more.
Yeah,
we need more. The more people, the more of our people that we can get back home to start preparing the land for this huge influx of Africans that's going to come back, the more of a help that is going to be to all of our leaders, especially the ones who have their heart in the right place towards the continent. So that's really all I have to say on the matter. So it's on you.
You are not wrong. You are right, because our brothers living outside, there is time for them to think about home. They say that you can run, but you can never hide.
You can't hide, yeah.
So they should also think, okay, although I am a diaspora here, I don't belong to here, or I'm not actually born. Even if I'm born here, my root is from somewhere.
Right.
And where is it? From Africa. So what can I
roots.
also contribute to my land?
Right.
Let us all contribute to our various nations,
Right.
our various countries. Let us join hand in hand. Because the same way you can build businesses, companies, organizations for America,
All in America.
and it will be stuck there, you are deporting
Right.
back.
Right.
You should rather think of bringing it home.
At least
So
here's
that
yours. Can't
when
nobody
they
take it
deport
from you. It belongs to
come
you. Your name is on the land.
Sure. Because right now, Trump is deporting you. He's not going to deport you and your business.
He's gonna
He's
take
not
all
going
that
to
business
deport
and
you
put it back
your-
in his bank,
You
in
see?
the American's pocket,
And
and
you're going to be benefiting.
you back where you started.
You see. So please, as we live outside, let us also think about doing something beneficially home. Because one day,
You don't have to come home.
one day,
Right.
this mass deportation should at least educate us. Because the purpose of this show, we are not just here to talk and go. At least it should also educate us. Because there is time for our senior brothers, our junior brothers and sisters to also think home.
Right.
They should consider building something good to support their homes.
Right.
So that when such cases or incidents happen, they won't be crying, begging, and
We don't got nowhere to go. We just lost everything. Where are we gonna go?
We beg you, our
Home?
fellow beloved brothers and sisters, as you are enjoying your chicken, your
chop.
be also thinking about your roots.
Right.
Because you don't know the day you come back. You don't know the days Junior Trump or Second Trump will deport you back.
Right.
Yeah, so let us be mindful of this. My brother Akim, I hope you have something to say to your fans outside there, your followers.
It's your boy, Brother Royce. One time for your mind. Oh. See through muddy water, man. We gonna be here. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll let you boy.
Right, as my brother Hakim said, please do well to follow us, like our videos, comment on our videos, and share. Remember, your thoughts, your comments are really important to us. So do not forget to comment, like, and share. Thank you for joining us. Bye. See you next time.
All your friends driving. See, I keep it real.